everyone, this is Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and I have one more card for you using the Sea Turtle bundle. So a lot of pictures that you see of the sea turtles when they hatch their eggs and they all go out to sea is one of the most spectacular things you'll see. They have several of those that happen in Edisto Beach here in South Carolina. And I've gotten to see that, and it is quite amazing. So what I wanted to do was kind of duplicate my thought, kind of what I picture from a sky view. And so this is what I came up with, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So we are going to make this, and we're going to do some embossing to kind of create this foam that comes up from the water when it is rushing onto shore. And then of course this is our little sand part, and then the turtles are going back out to the water. So let's get started, because we've got quite a bit to do. I have tried to cut as much as I possibly can, just so that you don't have to watch all of that. Don't forget, this is the host code for ordering, and these are the 3 cards that you would get make and take packets on if you order using that host code. Minimum order has to be at least $35 before tax and shipping in order to receive this class packet. And if you do $150 for an order, make sure that you don't use the host code for that, because you'll want to get your own Stampin' Rewards. But anything under $150 and above $35, then you'll want to use that host code, and then you can get that make and take packet. Okay, so we are going to, I'm going to make sure I've got the right piece here. So we are going to, this is using, sorry, I probably need to tell you all this so you know, you can recreate it. This is using the layering diorama dies, and I'm going to tell you, because we got to see the new annual catalog as a demonstrator today for Stampin' Up. These will be retiring. These are amazing. They're great for ocean and all that fun stuff. So if you want these, you better get them quick. There are some other things that are retiring that we used for this class, like the fabulous frames, which I might be a little upset over, but that's okay. I will move on, right? Find something bigger and better, I guess. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to our bottom, and I'm going to pull in my silicone mat for this, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that I don't get adhesive everywhere else. So we're going to just attach it right about here, and I'm going to kind of look at the back just to kind of see where the line is, so that I don't get too much of that liquid glue in crazy places. On my sample one, I really went overboard, and it was bad. I had to let it dry quite a bit before I could do anything with it. All right, so we're going to attach this, and all I'm making sure is that I don't have any white in those areas anymore. So we're going to lay that there. And then we're going to just flip it over and see, you'll see I've got some liquid there, but that's okay. We're going to let it dry. It's not as bad as it was with the sample. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the largest piece that we have here. We are going to pull in our foam mat here. We're going to grab some Versamark, and this image right here is like a water bubble image. It can be used for all kinds of different things, but we're going to use it to create our foam from the water. So we're going to ink this up really well, and before I stamp it on my paper, I'm going to grab my embossing buddy. We're going to rub it all over. There we go. I'm also going to grab a piece of grid paper, because I want to make sure, and I'm just going to grab the actual paper, because what I want to make sure of is that I get a good clear image of it. All right, and we're gonna do it along the edge here. So we're gonna stamp, and we wanna make sure we're getting that whole edge. So we're gonna stamp there. Make sure it got there. Then we're gonna re-ink it. And then we're gonna stamp it again. Like that. And then let's ink up just a little bit more. And we're gonna kind of put it there. I probably won't need that much, but it'll be okay. That's really light. So I'm gonna pray real hard that it worked. I might have let the Versamark sit there too long. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna pull in my little, I'm not really sure what it's called. I guess it's like a tub with like a little funnel. I don't know. I don't know what the words are. We're gonna grab some of our white embossing powder, and we're just gonna completely cover really well. Okay, then we're gonna pick up our cardstock and we're gonna flick off. I'm gonna flick this off into the trash just because I am not much of an embossing person because I don't like all the mess. That's why I don't like glitter. It is not something I enjoy. And you can obviously open that and it'll pour right into. All right. We're going to close that up because we do not want to create a mess. We're going to pull in our heat tool and then we're going to heat this up. I'm going to let the heat tool actually get warm, and then I will stick it onto our cardstock. And I just move it very slowly. You don't have to do it like a hairdryer. And then you're gonna start seeing it get glossy white. All right, so that is our foam now. And what we're gonna do there is we're going to bring back in our crumb cake. And I'm gonna go ahead, nope, we're gonna let that sit for a little while longer. Let me grab a clean, silicone mat. We're gonna flip this over like that. We're gonna attach these two pieces together, okay? So it's gonna kind of go like that onto our card front. I wanna make sure that I leave enough room there. So our pool party here, we need to stamp to make it look like water. So before we attach it all, so we're gonna take some pool party, and we're gonna do some full strength, and then we're gonna do some stamped off. So it's gonna be like multiple coloring going on, which is gonna be good because then it's gonna look like, you know, water, because water is not all the same blue shades. All right, so let's do this one down here. I don't want it all to be dark colors though, so we'll stamp off a few times too. flip it again. All right, and then let's do one little one down here. And this is the fish stamp, but this is the back of the fish. So it doesn't, and I'm gonna stamp that at full strength right there. Okay, there we go. All right, so there we've got our piece. All of that's not gonna go on, but it's gonna be just fine. Okay, we're gonna attach this, so we're gonna put some liquid glue. Let's just put some liquid glue here so that we know it attaches. And we're gonna line it up to where we want it to show, like that. Okay. All right, so we've got that layer now. Might move it up just a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to attach it to our bottom. So it's gonna look like this. Let me actually move this out the way. So we're gonna lay it like this. And we wanna make sure that we've got all that good to go on there. And what we're gonna do is flip this back over, and we're gonna add some liquid glue. And then we will lay this like that. So not too shabby on the sample one. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there, let that all dry. And we are going to stamp our turtle. Now I've already gone and done 2 of them so that you didn't have to watch me fussy cut all those out. So with our turtle, we are going to stamp in Pear Pizzazz. And we're gonna do the solid side first. So we wanna stamp it off, and then we wanna stamp it onto our cardstock. Then we're gonna clean that. Or not. We're just gonna clean it like this. We'll flip it over. And then we will stamp right over on top. Like that. And then we are going to fussy cut it out. So give me just a moment while I do all that. Grab my scissors. And it doesn't take too long, I promise. Although I always say that, don't I? And it always takes a little longer because I'm a little slower. I think I need to get these scissors sharpened as well. Sometimes it's good to cut off the excess so that it is not in your way as you're trying to cut. All right. And I'm trying to leave just a small white border around, but if you don't, it's okay. It's gonna go on the rest of the card and no one will ever see, I promise. It will be just fine. I feel like the feet on the small turtle is almost like club feet. They're like much larger than the rest of his body, it seems like. Okay, so there we go. By the way, I can't remember if I said this at the beginning of the video or not, but this stamp set will be in the new catalog. It will be in the new annual catalog. So it will be sticking around for a while. Okay, while that still continues to dry, let's go ahead and fold our card base in half. We're going to use our bone folder, give it a good crease. For our inside piece, we are going to stamp our turtle. So let's grab our Pear Pizzazz. And I'm pretty sure, yep, I stamped it on that one too. So we're gonna ink it up and stamp it right there. Clean it and flip it over. Stamp it off. And then we're gonna put it just like that. Then we will stick this on our inside. Let's open it like this. As a lefty, sometimes it's easier to do it the opposite of what probably most of you do it. That is the problem with being a lefty sometimes. Okay, so we got that there. This is going to, once we're going to trim all this off real quick, our excess, and then we are going to attach this to this border right here. So I'm going to pull in, I've got a little cutter right here, and we're going to pull in and try to trim off as much as we can. We're going to go very slow to make sure we get, and I'm going to have to clean all the glue off in the end. Okay, and then let's come down here and get our part down there. All right, and then we'll stick this side in here. I'm gonna have to clean all the glue off of it. That is gonna be a big one to clean up. Once you get one flat side, it's much easier to do the rest of it, I promise. And I'm going to trim this just a little bit more. There we go. All right, and then I have a little bit here that I need to trim off as well. There we go. Okay, so now we have our smaller piece that's going to look like this. Before we adhere it to our mat there, let's get some early espresso, and we're gonna stamp our sentiment down here in the corner, right about here. Okay, we will then go ahead and attach this to our border there so that we don't have to worry about inky, or not inky, glue. We don't have to worry about all the little extra glue that's on the back of this now. And this is just going to go flat onto our little small border. And it's just to kind of give it a little extra. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. All right. Let's take one of our sea turtles and let's get some dimensionals, and we're going to pop that up. And we're just going to do it with 2 dimensionals. I'm not going to be my normal self. I think it'll be just fine. Okay. And this one is going to go right here at our sentiment. The other 2 are going to go flat onto our card base. We're going to stick this one like that. And it's okay that the arm kind of goes off because it's on a smaller piece of paper than our card base. And then this one's going to go right about here. Okay. Now let's turn that over and we're going to pop it up. My dimensionals are sticking to the page. It didn't want to come up there for a second. All right, I'll grab one more. And we'll put this on, and then we'll have two more things we want to do after we attach this. So we're going to attach this to the center as close as we can get. See if I can get it to lay flat. Okay, let's take some linen thread and we're going to wrap it in the inside here. And then we're going to pull it right on over here and we're going to tie a bow. By the way, linen thread is in the next catalog, which y'all know was the first thing I looked for. It was linen thread, and what was the other thing I looked for? And then I looked for the colors. And then I looked at the dies and saw that my fabulous frames are no longer, but that's okay. We'll find something else to replace it, right? To help us out. All right, so once we get that tied, we will take our scissors and we are going to trim off our tails. There we go. And last but not least, I'm going to take some Wink of Stella. I'm going to shake it because I need a little bit more down in my barrel. I might be running low here. Which, oh, looks like I might be getting low. It's okay because I have way more. I keep these in stock all the time. We are going to just rub our Wink of Stella all over the place in our water, just in our water. You can add it to the turtles if you want, but I didn't think it was quite necessary. I just wanted my water to sparkle like the sun was hitting it. That was kind of my thought. And you can also add it down here if you want a little bit more sparkle too. Really get that sun hitting it, right? And there we go. Okay, so there is the last card for inspiration on using the Sea Turtle stamp set. This is a great stamp set and can be used for so many different things for sure. By the way, just to let you know, the sentiment came from the Let's Set Sail bundle. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. I will be more than happy to answer them. And again, don't forget, when you place your order using that host code, you will get the class packet for these 3 cards right here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.